Hello everyone. Today's topic is the making of the Indian Constitution. We all know that India is a democratic country and in Hindi democratic means Loktantriya. Therefore, we can conclude that in a democratic system, as said by Abraham Lincoln, the government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. People get together to create a state according to their needs and interests so that everything runs smoothly. Here comes the main question: who is the priority? The priority is none other but us, we the people of India. So, to ensure the smooth functioning of the state or the society or anything, we need a set of rules and regulations or procedures. Apparently, coming to our hot topic, making of the Indian Constitution. The period of British constitutional experiment during the British rule can be divided into two phases. First is Company Rule, which started from 1757 and lasted till 1857, and the second is Crown Rule, which started from 1858 and lasted till 1947. Company rule in India effectively began in 1757 after the Battle of Plassey and lasted until 1858, preceding Sepoy Mutiny. Let me give you a quick synopsis of this. From 1773, EIC started bringing regulating acts and charter acts, and it is pretty obvious that they were trying to interfere in the livelihood of the Indian people. In 1773, they brought regulating act, and in 1781, they brought an amendment to this act by bringing Pitt's India Act. In every 20 years, they used to bring some or the other act. Likewise, in 1793, 1813, 1833, 1853, they brought acts. Their interference over the Indian subcontinent was at peaks. ऊंचाइयाँ चूम रही थी, ऊंचाइयाँ. Let me explain you this thing. In 1773, there were 4 members of Executive Council, and the other one person was Governor General. And in 1784, the members of Executive Council were decreased from 4 to 3 due to some issues, and one was Governor General. And the same thing, this parliament was followed in 1793 and also in 1813, but in 1833 law member was also added in this parliament, and in 1853 the size of Executive Council was increased from 3 to 4, and the one member is the law member, and 6 additional members were also added, among which 2 were the judges of the Supreme Court and the rest of the 4 members were from Indian Civil Services. Coming back to our topic. And then in 1857, all these things that Britishers did accumulated and made a big blast, big explosion, and that is Sepoy Mutiny in 1857, which can also be called First War of Indian Independence. And in order to stop this revolt from happening again, in 1858, this Britishers handed over one lollipop called Government of India Act, or it could also be called an Act for the Better Government of India, followed by Indian Councils Act 1861, 1909, 1919. This Indian Councils Act were brought at an interval of 10 years from 1919. Similarly, in 1929, an act was about to come. And to keep in mind, in 1885, Indian National Congress was formed, and they demanded a bigger political role in the government, and large number of Indians were actually employed in the administration of the country, and their number was growing. A small segment was also given the right to elect their own representatives in government. However, the final authority and the ultimate power lied in the hands of the British. And then what happened? First World War began in 1914, which lasted till 11 November 1918, and at the end of First World War, whole scenario changed as India began demanding a government elected on the basis of universal suffrage, a government formed by the people. In 1928, a committee was formed under the chairmanship of Motilal Nehru to draft a constitution for India. And this Nehru report was submitted on August 10, 1928. In 1928, Nehru report was submitted in which they kept the demand as follows: dominion status, separate electorate was rejected here. This is to be noted that the separate electorate was rejected, and they told that seat should be reserved for the Muslims but election should be based on joint electorate. And they asked for universal adult franchise and secular state, fundamental rights, equality between men and women, freedom to the working class to form trade unions. And this was rejected by Muslim League. The whole Nehru report was rejected by the Muslim League. And then comes the Government of India Act 1935. This act provided for all India Federation comprising British provinces and princely states. Diarchy was replaced from provinces to the central level, and the provincial autonomy was granted. One notable thing about this Government of India Act of 1935 is that this act never mentioned anything about dominion status. That means it only aimed to divert the attention of Congress from the center to the provinces. In 1942, Quit India movement started, and the people were like, Angrez bhagao, desh bachao, Angrez bhagao, desh bachao. Britishers realized that they can no more stay over here. The whole situation was chaotic, and therefore, in 1946, the cabinet mission was sent to India. And the three members of cabinet mission are Stafford Cripps, Pethick Lawrence, A.V. Alexander, and they had two agendas. First of framing a constitution by a constituent assembly, and second is formation of an interim government. According to the cabinet mission, a constituent assembly was to be established, and the members of the constituent assembly would be elected by the provincial legislature, and they would be nominated by the rulers in case of princely states. That means there would be an indirect election, and there were 292 representatives from 11 provinces in the ratio of 1:10 lakh. 93 were from princely states and 4 were from Delhi, Ajmer, Marwar and Baluchistan. Summing up, we get 389 members of the Constituent Assembly. So, the preliminary stage started from December 9, 1946 and lasted until January 27, 1948. First meeting took place in December 9, 1946, and Dr. Sachidanand Sinha was selected as the temporary chairman. There was whole lot of chaos and confusion whether India will remain united or will get bifurcated into India and Pakistan. On December 11, 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was selected as the chairman of the Constituent Assembly, and on December 13, 1946, objective resolution was passed by Jawaharlal Nehru, and by February 1947, it was crystal clear that Pakistan wants another nation, and as we all know that on 15th of August 1947, India gained its independence from the British Empire. On August 29, 1947, drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar began working. In between the preliminary stage, committees such as Union Powers Committee, Fundamental Rights, Minorities submitted their report to outline the guiding principles of the Constitution. The draft constitution was prepared and presented on February 25, 1948. It was published to invite comments, suggestions, or criticisms. On September 17, 1948, a proposal to translate the constitution in Hindi or other regional languages was passed. The first reading took place between November 4, 1948, which lasted until November 4, 1948. The draft constitution, which was prepared and presented on February 25, 1948, that draft was introduced in the assembly in November 1948. And the second reading started from November 14, 1948 and lasted until October 17, 1949. It's almost 1 year. Clause by clause discussion on the draft was conducted in the assembly, and the third reading took place between November 14, 1949 to November 26, 1949. The assembly finally finished the third reading and enacted the constitution on November 26, 1949. This is how the Constitution of India was formed, comprising the set of rules and regulations for the welfare of everyone. Thank you.